Morning, guys. Day after NFL draft. It was a great day. We finally talked some sports. Had 4 hours of NFL football last night. I'm not a draft expert by any stretch, but I think I'm as good as some of these guys ESPN have. So I'm gonna break down the first round, what I see, in my opinion. You can tell me whether I'm right or wrong. Joe Burrow going to Cincinnati. It's the pick they had to make. Hometown kid, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion. But I'm not sure. He's surrounded by great talent at LSU. So, how great is Joe Burrow? He couldn't win the job at Ohio State. Comes to LSU, he's surrounded by talent. It reminds me a lot of like Danny Werfel with maybe the Florida Gators. I like Andy Dalton. I think if he's surrounded by good pieces, Andy Dalton's a playoff guy. Problem with it is that division with Baltimore, who's going to be around for a decade now, with Lamar Jackson and the coaching staff and players that they bring in. Pittsburgh does things to stay competitive, and then Cleveland's on the way up. So no matter who they drafted, it's going to be a competitive division for Cincinnati to try to get playoff bound. Second pick, Chase Young. I don't know, man. Freak of nature, big guy, beast, whatever you want to say, but I don't really know there's a defining moment. And in the Clemson game, he pretty much got stonewalled. And I feel like if you can't make your presence felt on the grandest stage, what will you do on every Sunday in the NFL, especially for Washington? I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a pick you have to make, but if Washington needs a lot of help, so maybe the best scenario there would have been to trade down, get more picks to help that young team. Third pick may have been the best pick of the night, Jeff Okudah from Ohio State, best player at his position. Detroit needs a lot of help. I'm sure Stafford's coming back. They're going to do what they do. They're going to throw the football around. But this is one piece on defense that'll lock down one side of the field. He played a hell of a game against Clemson's T. Higgins, Justin Ross, held them in check. So Jeff Okudah, good pick for the Detroit Lions. Andrew Thomas goes off at 4 from Georgia to the Giants. With Daniel Jones at quarterback, Saquon Barkley at running back, you need a solid offensive line. Protect those guys, block for those guys. Andrew Thomas, big dude from Georgia, good fit, another good pick right there. At 5, the Dolphins take Tua Tagovailoa. Who knows? I mean, injury prone. He won't have that great offensive line he does against Alabama. He won't have 3 NFL jetsters at wide receiver. So it's going to be a work in progress. Can he be great? I think he can be top 10. He's got the tools, lefty, throws the ball smooth, throws a good deep ball, is mobile. But, if he gets hit a couple times, could he be like RG3 and go from here to there? We'll see. Wild card for me. Justin Herbert for the Chargers, I think is a reach. Everybody wants to get a quarterback, the new big quarterback, big, strong, rifle arm. But he struggles against Oregon State, Washington State, in a conference that really doesn't play a lot of defense. I just don't see it. Raw, maybe he can get coached up and become what Phillip Rivers was, minus the interceptions and 9 kids. We'll see. I don't like that pick. I think I'd rather have Andy Dalton. Hell, I'd probably rather have Jameis Winston. It's just me. Panthers go up and get a defensive tackle from Auburn, Derek Brown. That'll be the anchor in their defensive line. Thought they might have went Isaiah Simmons with losing Kuechly. He can move in and control the middle of the field. But Derek Brown's a stud. Can't argue with that pick. Solid pick there. Isaiah Simmons drops to the Cardinals. Another good pick. Isaiah Simmons can play just about anywhere. I mean, I doubt he plays like an end rusher because he's only 235. So he'll play either any of the linebacker positions, can play in coverage, can drop back. He's like Thomas Davis when he came in from Georgia. He's a smaller now and can move around. If he puts on 30 pounds, 20, 30 pounds, he'll be a solid linebacker in the NFL for 10 or 12 years. Hell of an athlete. Jacksonville goes and gets C.J. Henderson from Florida. I mean, good player. Jacksonville's got a lot of needs. I didn't know. I thought maybe they would go wide receiver, but they got rid of Nick Foles. They riding with Gardner Minshew. They'll probably take a quarterback here at some point or pick one up. C.J. Henderson's good. I don't know if he'll be great, but I guess it's a start rebuilding that defensive side. Cleveland makes a good pick in Jedrick Wills from Alabama. You know, Baker Mayfield's your franchise. You need a guy to protect him. Big, strong guy, Alabama pedigree. Good pick for Cleveland. Offensive linemen are always good picks unless they bust. But the intention of having a guy to protect your biggest investment is a smart thing. Same with the Jets. They went and got Mekhi Becton from Louisville. Sam Darnold's their investment. Le'Veon Bell's in the backfield. Hopefully these guys pair up. All these offensive line to quarterback. Hopefully they pair up for 10 years and keep the quarterback healthy. So decent pickup there for the Jets. The Raiders take Henry Ruggs at 12, and he's a speedster in good hands and makes good moves. But the Raiders need so much more, I think, right now. I'm surprised they didn't take a guy like Kinlaw or, another defensive player and then get one of the wide receivers later on. Henry Ruggs is good, but, he's not Jerry Rice. He's not Randy Moss, and he's not Calvin Johnson. And you don't really know who the quarterback's going to be right now with in limbo with Derek Carr, kind of. So that's a reach, I think. Tristan Wirfs from Iowa, big, strong guy, corn-fed Iowa boy. Tom Brady gets some more protection. The offensive side of the football for Tampa Bay is going to be really good. They're going to be good enough. It'll be interesting to see how the defensive side holds up its side of the football and how good Tampa Bay will be. Brady's lost his fastball a little bit, but he's got a bunch of good receivers. Evans, bring in Gronk. They got OJ at tight end, Goodwin, couple running backs in the backfield. So the offense is set. It'll be up to the defense to see if Tampa Bay can make a run in Tom Brady's last couple years. Javon Kinlaw is a beast, a defensive tackle for San Francisco. They just keep reloading defensive linemen year after year in the first round, and it's paid off. It got them to the Super Bowl this year. Javon Kinlaw is a hungry beast, 325, something like that. He's going to be a disruptor for San Francisco, along with all those other first-round picks they got with Boza and the like. So good pick for them. And then they get some needs later on in the first round. Denver Broncos take Jerry Jeudy. Not a bad pick. If you're going to stick with Drew Lock, you need a guy. You got Cortland Sutherland, but you need a speedster in the slot. Jerry Jeudy's that guy. He can break down the defense. Not a bad pick. They need to shore up their defense for sure, but they got good running backs. If they like Drew Lock, they got a decent quarterback. So Jerry Jeudy could be a star there. A.J. Terrell from Clemson goes 16 to Atlanta, and I just feel like that's a reach. Not that he is not a bad corner, but to go up to 16, that's reaching a little bit, especially when you got some of the other guys in this draft. If you're gonna reach, you may as well trade down, maybe get another pick or two. Comes from Clemson, good pedigree there. But I just don't know how good he'll be one-on-one in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb falls to 17 to Dallas. I think it's a great pick. Gives Dak Prescott another weapon in the slot. The guy's fast, he's quick, he's got good hands, can get up and get a football. So good pick and gives Dak another weapon on offense. Miami protects Tua with the 18th pick, Austin Jackson from Southern Cal. Big dude. Big, strong tackle. May move to right tackle to protect the blind side of Tua, but you can't never fault getting insurance for your biggest investment. Number 19, the Raiders, another reach. They take Damon Arnett, who most people had outside the top 5 of corners at Ohio State. Why? I don't know what they saw. The guy was going to quit football last year, and John Gruden takes this guy. I don't know. John Gruden's a mad scientist. It may work out, but that's 2 questionable draft picks right there for John Gruden. Number 20, Caleb Chason from LSU. We saw him on the grand stage. He's a beast. Again, Jaguars are trying to shore up that defense with a corner and now an edge rusher. So they're doing work. We'll see what happens with the Fournette. If they get rid of Fournette, they maybe need to get some more offense in there. But 2 good picks for Jacksonville. Philadelphia takes Jalen Reagor from TCU. I think that's a reach. You need a wide receiver, yeah, but you don't have to get one just to get one when you could have got a better one. Maybe move up a couple spots to get CeeDee Lamb. Maybe get Jerry Jeudy if you're going to take a wide receiver. They do need help. Carson Wentz definitely needs some help. He's had injured wide receivers and skill position guys throughout his career, and he's been injured as well. So we'll see how Jalen Reagor plays out. Justin Jefferson goes to Minnesota to replace Steph Diggs. Not a bad play there. Minnesota's pretty good on both sides of the football, so you get a playmaker, not a bad idea. The LA Chargers get Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma. Pretty stout defense with Bosa and Ingram. Throw another linebacker in there from Oklahoma. Not a bad pick. Offense should be pretty good. Defense should be pretty good. They got a shot, depending on what they do in free agency and the rest of this draft. The Saints go out and get Cesar Ruiz from Michigan, a big center to protect Drew Brees. Can't argue with that. Dude's a beast. And you definitely want to make sure that you're on the same page with Drew Brees and maybe moving into Taysom Hill. San Francisco here, I'm not sure. Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. I don't know a lot about him, to be honest, but it seems like a reach. Seems like he could have got a guy pretty similar, maybe in free agency or later in the draft. So I don't really know. Debo's out there, George Kittle's out there, and you don't have a lot other options. But I can't fault John Lynch. He's built a heck of a team at San Francisco. 26, the Packers take Jordan Love. Got Aaron Rodgers under center for a couple more years. And if you were going to take a project, I'm not sure Jordan Love's the project you would take. I know guys like the mobile guy and all like this here, but against Power 5 conference competition, he threw 3 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And that Power 5 guys were like Wake Forest, not Alabama or Ohio State. I just don't know what the play is here. Unless he's going to play another position. They've had guys behind Aaron Rodgers just similar, and they're just not going to work out. Anyway, so the Seahawks, Legion of Boom is pretty much gone. Rebuild on the defensive side. Got Jordan Brooks from Texas Tech. Good linebacker for that team. Pete Carroll does a good job of building defensive continuity. So this guy will be a good linebacker to start rebuilding those pieces to help Russell Wilson on offense. Patrick Queen from LSU, stud. The Ravens got a good one. The Ravens got Calais Campbell in last week as well. So that defense keeps getting better. The offense is really good with Lamar Jackson and those tight ends, Mark Ingram. So Ravens just got better. Tennessee Titans signed Ryan Tannehill. They go out and get Isaiah Wilson from Georgia as a tackle to protect him. Big dude, SEC player, smart pick. Might have been a reach, but you got to protect your investment. They gave that more $30 million, so you got to put somebody out there. The Dolphins go back on their 3rd pick and get Noah Igabiongo, cornerback from Auburn, maybe an undersized guy. And they already got 2 good corners. I'm not sure where this pick comes from unless you're going to play a lot of man and you trust him to play man, which is understandable. Auburn guy, he's played against receivers at Florida, the Alabama guys, the LSU guys, and held his own. So maybe that's a good pick for Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins. The Vikings pick up Jeff Gladney, cornerback from Texas Christian. Don't know a lot about him. Obviously, they're trying to shore up the back end. Maybe a reach. But we'll see. They're pretty talented. And that's an interesting division with Chicago and Detroit and Green Bay to see what happens there. Kansas City, with the last pick, don't really need a lot. They got the Patrick Mahomes and they got the speedsters. They had enough defense to win a Super Bowl. They go out and get Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU, who just got through winning a national championship. Catches a lot of balls at the backfield, and that's what Kansas City likes to do. He might fit their system. This might be a steal, kind of like the Patriots going up and getting a running back at the end of the draft 2 years ago from Georgia, Sony Michel. Maybe a steal of a deal. May end up working out. So, all in all, I mean, I really like Okudah. I really like Derek Brown, Andre Thomas. I don't really know about the quarterbacks. I like Isaiah Simmons. Most of the offensive linemen are good. Kinlaw should play well in that system. I think Terrell and Arnett are reaches. And, I trust the 49ers because John Lynch knows what he's doing. Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, I have no idea what he's doing with Jordan Love. But glad we had some football. Looking forward to watching round 2 today. Brian Edwards, T. Higgins, both of those guys should go today. So fun for those young guys to get on the NFL roster, make a little money, start playing football again, and good for us to have something to talk about. Got a good Zoom cast coming up at 1 o'clock with Orlando Hudson, a former Darlington High School star, played for the Blue Jays, the Diamondbacks, made an all-star team. Solid guy on the field and off. So stay tuned for that. Talk to y'all later.